Good morning, Detective Hogan.
Take the time. Good morning. Good morning.
We've met before, but my name's Max Schart. I represent Shannon Stillwell, okay?
Okay.
All right, and the case that we're talking today does not involve Shannon Stillwell at all, does it?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you one question on cross. You were asked about testing a car, the inside of a car for gunshot residue.
Right, yeah.
And you responded that it would not make any sense to do so unless a gun was shot from that car, correct?
That would be the most obvious reason to do so, yes.
Okay,
Test
so
for that.
if a gun is shot from inside a car, if your investigation leads you to believe that a gun was shot from inside a car, you certainly would test for gunshot residue, correct?
If there was any question that a gun was used inside the car, so if there was an allegation that it was, and
Yep.
there was reason to believe that it wasn't, we needed to prove that a gun was used in the car, then certainly we should process it inside the car for gunshot residue.
Okay, when you say process inside the car for gunshot residue, what does that mean?
Well, we asked the ID unit. I've watched them do it several times. They have a Q-tip, and they swab areas, and they preserve that Q-tip, which gets sent to the GBI crime lab. And then they do their analysis, their whiz bang stuff over there to say if there's any presence of gunpowder, I guess is what it is.
And we're talking about microscopic particles,
Yeah,
right?
if you shoot a weapon anywhere, if somebody shot in here, the residue would be however tiny, microscopic, but it would be here on everybody, everywhere. Yeah,
It would go all over.
yeah, it goes everywhere.
Okay, and you would ask the collection team, we'll say, to the crime scene technicians, I guess is the formal term, correct?
Yes.
You would ask them to collect from the different areas within the car.
That's correct.
Are there any specific areas that you would have them focus on?
I generally let them do their job. They know more about that stuff than me. I ask them to process it and I allow them to do it.
Okay.
So wherever areas they are. Another, the GBI has been a little more stringent on their testing of that. They're getting away from gunshot residue because of the fact it goes everywhere. It doesn't really prove anything.
Okay, so the concern when they're going away from it is not that it gives false negatives, but it gives false positives.
Right. So, for example, if you're a gunshot victim, you're obviously a gunshot victim. Guys that in the past I know have tried to test them for gunshot residue. Well, that's kind of silly because they are a gunshot victim. They're going to have gunshot residue on them. Also, the fact that if they're in a room such as this or other people, and somebody shoots, and then that person gets away, but somebody else is alleged to be the shooter. Well, if he was in the same room, he's going to have gunshot residue on him as well because it goes everywhere.
So it sounds like what you're saying, if you get a positive result from gunshot residue, it may be unreliable for proving what you're intending it to prove.
You don't necessarily have to be the shooter if you were in the room when the shot went off.
But if you get it, but from what I'm understanding, if you get a negative, that's still a reliable result. It's just the positives can mean different things.
Yes.
All right, great. And in your experience at times, you said you defer to the experts on the collection method. Have you known them to remove different parts of a car for further testing for gunshot residue?
Yes.
Sustained.
I can approach it. It is going to be relevant.
All right, I'll give you.
And I'm just going to ask one more question. Is one of those parts that the experts remove at times the headliner of the car?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.